Here at Man Made It, Man Can Fix It. I'm going to make a, wood mill using for my chainsaw. This came off of a chipper body, and this was used as an adjustment thing. Um, this is the piece of metal, which is really thick, and this is the metal that is going to slide on a 2x4, and that's actually 4 inches wide. And I like the 4 inches wide for stability. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm cutting a couple pieces of metal that I will use to go through this part where the chainsaw bar fits on. And I'm going to weld 2 tabs on here where this goes through. So that's the step I'm on right now. And a lot of people don't know how to use a hacksaw. They might think they do, but they don't. And I was years ago trained as a machinist as a young boy, not too young. I mean, outside of high school, during high school. And so when you use a hacksaw, what you need to do is hold on to it. You need to pull up. Okay, so you push, you pull up, and then you come back. You push, you pull up, you come back. So basically, that's what you're doing. You're taking off a little pressure when you're cutting. Okay? Because you don't want to run those teeth backwards on the metal, okay? Because you're going to prematurely wear the teeth out. And you want to do a full stroke as well. Okay, so what I've used is a thing called dicum, and it's basically an ink. It's a dye that you put on metal, and you can scribe it to create your mark. Okay, so that's what I've done with the dicum. And I want to get this fairly close on that mark. And I'm using my back of my fingernail, to get it going. Now, this blade I'm using is actually a little bit larger teeth. So let me get a smaller blade, which is with more teeth per inch, and that'll make it easier to start. As you can see right here. Okay. Wow, come on now. It's funny because earlier it was easy to get going, so here we go. And I'm going to follow that line I scribed earlier. Because I'm going to weld these 2 pieces of metal on the top of that. And as I'm using the saw blade, I'm watching my line. Of course, I want to stay on that line to make it fairly accurate. And when I'm done with this, I'll take a measurement just for the heck of it and see how close I am with the 2 pieces of metal. And I'm going to open this hole up to a 1/2 inch. So, it doesn't have to be super accurate, but I want it fairly close. let's take this into the shop and take a look at this one. And I'm going to give it a little grind on the edge to get rid of the burr. Because once again, I'm going to be welding this. All right, let's see how close I am with these two pieces of metal. Uh-huh. So here's the other one I cut. Okay, let's see how close. And we're going to use some digital caliper. And I got a measurement of about 1.389. And this is 1.40. So this one here on the right is a little bit smaller, right? So this one here, I'm going to sand a little bit to try to take it down just a tad, okay? And I'm going to use this sander over here, the belt sander, which is, of course, better to grind it more square. And all I got to do is push it up against this here. Let's see how much I took off just by that little bit. So this is 390 now. So I got to go about 10 2000s. So it's not much. 390. We got 394. Okay, and then this one becomes 391. So we got what? 3,000s to go. 394, 385, 1.385, 1.390. So this is really close. And I'm not going to go anymore because this is fine with me, and I'm going to weld this on. There'll be a variable when I weld it too. But the main thing is I want these kind of even, and I'm going to re-drill these holes. I'm going to put those in the vise now, and let's go drill those. All right, I'm back over here on the drill press. So let me give this a drill. Holding on to the vise, you have to be careful, because you see what happens. I think this half-inch drill is actually bad. Let's go with a different drill for now, and let me try this one. I don't know if it's the drill head, the chuck, I mean, or the drill itself, but let's try a different drill. All right, so, I could, lock this vise down a bit, front and back. It's not going to hurt to do it, but I don't know if I can do that. I don't have a bolt and a nut for this base to lock it down. Let's try just something right here, maybe. It's better than nothing. keep it from, you know, spinning around and the like. I can use this block to put against here, and that'll help as well. Just anything to help it from moving. You know, it looks pretty straight there. Let's give this a try. It's just a little bit fast as well. So let's, I'll slow this down just a tad as well. Let's see. Now, I haven't done this since I purchased this. Okay, let's see if it moves. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. So what we're going to do is the motor, we're going to go down to, we're going to go up to a bigger pulley. Let's see if that makes a difference. That's lower. So it has a different belt RPM, so 60 hertz, 400 RPM, 800, and wow, it doesn't really show where the belt goes, which is really odd. Huh. But I know that like a bicycle, the smaller the sprocket and the bigger on the back, the faster you go. The bigger on the front and the smaller. So let me take it down even more to the bottom RPM. Oh, that's a lot faster. Yeah, let me go down even more. Huh. Well, that's way down. Yeah, it seems like this drill truck is not that all that good. Huh. Seems a little better, but some cutting fluid on here. It looks like the bottom one moved a bit. Looks like I better let's put these on here because it seemed like it moved. Yeah, it did. And I don't need it to move. There we go. Let's try this. There we go. All right. So I imagine these are a little warm. Yeah, it's a good thing I put them together because it was moving a bit. Oh yeah, it's a little bit warm. All right, let's go fix these up and we'll get back to you. All right, here I've set up this metal and I'm using a magnet. Now I'm not a welder, but I want this metal brackets that I'm making right now, I want it even with the outsides. So when the chainsaw comes down, when I put a spacer, it doesn't even come close to this bracket. So I'm not a welder, but we're gonna give this a shot. I have this old welder here that I fixed up. So let's do mild steel 6011, which is 6011 rod, and I got it here, and I'm going to hook up my ground. Right, let's see. Now I don't know, what is this? I have two of them here? Okay, I got my ground. Okay, here we go. And my welder end. Here we go, which is right here. I'll take it right off. And this is the ground. So I'm going to put it in. It says A is the brown. No, 6011 is blue. So AB. You can put it in either one. Right. Now let's see. These things have kind of worn out a bit. So, but it seems to work. Yeah. So let's put my ground here on this unit, which I just did. So there we go. And I'm going to turn it on. And we're going to try this out. Looks like I'm not making a good ground, so let me see if I could probably get this bolt. Yeah, there we go. I don't want to move it too much. There we go. I guess that'll work. So that's square. All right, that should work now. All right, so okay, that's on, and that's pretty square. So let's see if I can get this other one flush and even as well. I want to be even with the end of this. Now this is an old welder and it seems to work pretty good. Alright, I guess I can tack it right there. Now I can put this ground on this side and give that a shot. So now I'm going to leave the bolt in here, and I'm going to turn this around a bit so I can get this side. The bolt really gives it a nice steadiness, right? There we go. This is an old welder, guys, and it's working fine. Sears and Roebuck. So let's turn it on its side, and let me get the side of it. All right, it's seems pretty good. Of course, it expanded a bit, but it looks like it's okay. Maybe it's a little tweaked on this part here, but I can fix that. So let's shut this off. It is warm. Let me put it onto some cold water. Now we're going to see if this bolt moves rather easily in here. So let's check this out. I'm going to see if I can put the stand over here so you guys can see this. And I'm not sure if we're going to have free movement, right? Yeah, I mean, seems good enough. Actually, some slag got on my bolt a little bit, but that's not an issue. So let me clean this up a bit, and I'll get back to you a little bit. It looks pretty good. The welds aren't bad. You know, I'm not a welder, but this is going to work. All right, we'll get back to you in a minute. All right, what I've done now is I got my bracket and my spacer. So what I'm going to do is this is going to go through the bar like this on this side, and I have a little spacer right here. And it looks like I might have to put a spacer. This is an airplane or a nylock nut, right? And it looks like I might have to put a spacer between here, because or I clamp this, we'll see what's going to happen. But right now, I need to drill a hole in my bar, and I'm going to use this step bit. And I set this thing to be about 22 inches from, so I can cut a board it'll be 22 inches, almost 22 inches. Actually, it'll be 22 inches. I could go back, I can make it exactly 22 inches. And, you know, I'm just going to go here and put it in, because remember now, this, I only have so much room, as this will sit on a 4x4. This here will be on the board. The blade will be vertical, okay? So this will pivot. So, you know, I don't have a whole lot of room back here where the muffler is. So I'm going to drill a hole about 22 inches. And I centered it, and let's go ahead and do this. No turning back. I know this blade is really hard, and I might have to use a different drill to get it through, but which I think I'm going to have to do. Let me get a hard drill here, smaller and sharp. Let's try this one, see how good it is. Yeah. A little oil would be nice, right? A little cutting oil on this drill. If anything, it's going to make the blade lighter. Ooh, that's hard. That is hard. I can always sharpen these up, so I'm not worried about it. Looks like these things are toasted already. Let's see. Some pretty bad drill they got here. That was sharp. There we go. All right, let's get back into this step drill. That seems to be pretty hard, so. Woo! That's working nice. And then I'll use my 1/2-inch drill when I get close so the bolt fits in there. That is hard. Getting close. All right, let's try this this other drill that I got over here. And I will cut slowly. Alrighty, this should fit. Let me move this a little bit back a tad so I can get this in here so you guys can see this. So it does fit, so that's good. And you know what? I'm gonna need to grind this just a tad, make sure the burr is up. Yeah. So how this works is I'm going to put this in, and I got a spacer right here, as you can see, like a washer. Then I'm going to put one on this side, and then I'm going to put my spacer in here. Then I'm going to put this bracket, then the nut. Oh, that works super good. Beautiful. And let me take you in for a closer look, okay? So, you know, there it is. You can buy these online apparently for like $30-something, but you know, I had a bunch of stuff here, so I'm just using what I have. So now I need to have a 4-inch spacing inside of here. And I like that because then on the back end of it, when I do this, I will be able to screw that down on the log. You know, I may make some adjustments on this thing too, as far as this bottom part here. I might just cut it a little bit down a little bit, but I thought more surface area the better. So let me grab something here to show you how this is going to look. It looks like it's going to work fine. All right, I'll get back to you in a minute. All right, here it is. This is, just pretend this is the board I'm going to be using. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make a board that is 16 feet long. And I'm going to make another one that's 8 feet long. Or I might do two 10-footers actually. Or maybe, no, two 12-foot. I'll do two 12-foots. The thickness of the width of this bracket I made. And so how this would work is this. You sit it on the bracket like this. You can see that right there? The bracket sits on the wood, and all you're going to do is just tip it. And as you tip it, all you're going to do is you just move it backwards, and it's going to cut right through, creating the same width, all right, all the way down. So you just tip it like so. It's going to sit on here like this, and it's going to cut as you go along. And all you have to do is just stand here and pull it backwards. That's all you're going to have to do. And that is going to be how I'm going to be cutting board shortly on my property. So I just showed you how I made this. It's so simple. It's not that difficult. You can see I got a spacer and a washer in here. And that it's a used piece of metal. And I want it wide because I want the strength in the board, okay? Um, and so every time you cut a sliver, you're gonna move your board over, okay? So, you know, you keep the same screw holes and you go ahead and square your tree, okay? And then, yeah, you just move it accordingly. You just tip it up and you make a couple of lines at the end of your tree, right? Like so. And that's where you're going to follow the next. And if you want a 2-inch board, then you're going to move this board here over until the other one lines up, and and you just drag it backwards. So, for yeah, you can buy them online for 30 bucks, but I like to make everything. So anyways, I hope you like watching this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up, and thanks for subscribing. Okay, man made it, man can fix it. Take care. God bless.